Well, folks, it's so good that you've joined us today. We are coming to the end of week 3 of the 2024 legislative budget session. And what always surprises people from across the country when they come in, even if they've worked in legislatures across the country, they will be astonished at the speed at which Wyoming gets their work done. Several states across the West established that they would have only about a 60-day session every year. Actually, several of them, like South Dakota and North Dakota, have a 60-day session every 2 years. Wyoming did something a little bit different. We have a 40-day general session one year and a 20-day budget session the next. That 20-day session is actually the shortest length of any state in the United States of America. It's extraordinary. That means here in Wyoming, any piece of legislation that is passed here has to go through essentially 7 steps. And there's a very unique one that is built into the Wyoming system in a budget session. You have to get to introduce a bill in the budget session 2/3 of the people that you serve with, either in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, to agree with you that that bill should be introduced. And it's really neat how they do it. You have 2 minutes to introduce your bill. Then you can have a variety of people that would speak against the bill. They're all given about 30 seconds apiece to speak against it. And then everyone votes, and if 2/3 agree that your bill should be introduced, it's finally heard. It goes through the process in a regular way. That means it goes to a committee in the House of Origin, which is either the House of Representatives or the Senate. Then, if it makes it through that committee, it will return to the main body in what is known as Committee of the Whole, or kind of a general file. There's different words that people use for this. That is when you have the opportunity to amend it personally. Even if you weren't on that committee, you can bring your own amendments to that bill during its first reading. Then there is a second reading. People don't debate the bill in second reading unless there are amendments to be brought. Then it goes to third reading. In third reading is the final debate and passage of that bill in that house. Then, if it's made it to that point, you go through something called crossover. That's where a bill that started in the House of Representatives crosses over to the Senate, and it goes through the same process. Although in the general session here, you don't have to reintroduce it in the Senate. It's already into that system. And so there are multiple steps. Here in Wyoming, in a 20-day session, that goes very, very fast. It is astonishing to so many who see it. And that's the reason why having your help and your ability to reach in personally and early on in each of these steps is really helpful. And so we're so glad many of you have joined us as we have tried to give you at least a nightly update or an early morning update as to what happened the day before. Sometimes by the time you get that news report, things have already happened. And so it's very, very busy, but I'm glad that you have joined with Wyoming Family Alliance so that we can work together for what's best for our state.